Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We request everybody to kindly take their seats. And again, if there's anybody who is waiting for us, we do have the Tharoti chocolates that are at the rear end of this conference room, as directly opposite me. If anybody would like to taste those chocolates, you're more than welcome to walk over and have a taste at them. Another 1 minute to go. We're waiting for that. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I am loud and clear right through the ends of this very conference hall. Welcome to the breathtaking land of sun, sand, and sea. Where are we seated? We are seated at the wonderful land, Goa. We are delighted to have each one of you here at the fourth and second edition, of course, in Goa, of the Future Skills Maritime, the FSM event. A warm greeting to all our returning attendees and a heartfelt welcome to those joining us for the very first time. I am Delise Dias, and I'm very proud to be hosting this FSM event for the second time in Goa. This marks, as I said, the second year of our magnificent FSM event in the beautiful state of Goa. And it fills our hearts with joy to witness the growing enthusiasm and participation each and every year. Your presence adds immense value to this global congregation of maritime leaders, visionaries, and professionals. So welcome. Let us take a moment to reflect on the past, to reminisce, to discuss where we have witnessed groundbreaking discussions, forged valuable connections, and created lasting memories. Today, we stand on the threshold of another exciting journey, ready to explore new horizons in the maritime industry. But first, I'm sure as a community, and we too, we believe in something that is known as safety first. So let me take this moment to explain to all of you that before we dive into this entire ocean of knowledge, let us ensure that all of us are safe. Our hotel is a non-smoking zone, and we request your cooperation in adhering to all its policies. For the safety of the little ones, please do notice and supervise children in the swimming pool area. Our washrooms are located at the rear end of the conference room, so anytime you may walk through and it's on the left and on the right. I also believe, and I'm sure we all do, that silence is golden. To make most of these sessions ahead, I request that all our mobile phones be kept onto a silent mode or a flight mode. In case of any emergency, or if you require first aid services, please do not hesitate to contact our hotel front desk, who will gladly assist you. Your safety, as I always said, is our priority. In the unlikely event of a fire, please avoid using the elevators. Instead, do take the stairs throughout the property and muster in the common area that is in front of the reception for the gathering in case of an emergency. The breakfast, lunch, and dinner during our stay here will always be served at the Coconut Grove. Now that we've all settled with our little bit of instructions, I must say that I have worked, and we all have worked, with this wonderful personality over the last several years. I'm about to call upon on stage a very dynamic force behind the Naval Connection. With just 3 years since its inception and under his visionary leadership, the company has expanded its horizon from working with only 2 clients to a remarkable 120 clients worldwide. I think this deserves a round of applause. His relentless drive and workaholic spirit have propelled the company into diverse domains, ranging from social media management to cutting-edge learning solutions, revolutionizing industry engagements. A true workhorse, he is seldom rests, and his mind is a perpetual generator of innovative ideas. He has and shares a deep passion for everything he undertakes, and he infuses a unique flavor into every project. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I now call upon the navigator from the bridge, Captain Shaukat Mukherjee, founder and CEO of the Naval Connection, who now will deliver his opening address to us.
I'd specifically told her not to talk about my profile. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before I say anything else, I would like to draw your attention to a prayer. This prayer I heard first time when I was in MANIT, MIT ADT, and that stayed with me for many months and years. And now I want to read out something. Let peace fill our hearts, our world, and our universe. Let us dream, pray, and work together to build a world of peace and justice for us all. Lead us from despair to hope, from fear to trust. Lead us from hate to love, from war to peace. May peace prevail in our hearts, our world, and our universe. In this moment of unity, let us offer our hearts and minds to a prayer for peace that transcends boundaries and brings solace to those affected by conflict. As we gather here today, let us not forget the challenges faced by our own very seafarers, particularly in the region like the Red Sea, where the plight of those caught in the midst of the Houthi revolution remains a stark reminder of the importance of peace. May our collective prayers guide us towards a world where every individual, including our seafarers, can navigate the seas of our lives in safety and serenity. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to put your hands together, and we have a world peace prayer. You can stand, you can sit, but if you can stand, it's a 2 minutes prayer. And I would like to start the Future Skills Maritime with the world peace prayer, please. Om Yadya Veda Pratipadya Jaya Jaya Swasamvedya Deva Tuti Ganesh Sakalartha Matu Prakashim Mane Sida Avadhi Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Dev Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Purnamada Purnamudam Purnamati Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavatishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'm grateful to you for joining us in the World Peace Prayer. Let peace in the world reign over everything else. Ladies and gentlemen, now coming to the world from the World Peace Prayer to something more dynamic, I want you to put your hands together and welcome all of us to Goa. Welcome to Goa. Welcome to all delegates, all sponsors, all partners. Welcome to all the people who've come from all across India and some people from across the world, across the open oceans. And welcome to the mind-blowing excitement and engagement that we are going to have in the next 2 days. I'll just tell you a journey that the maritime, that the Future Skills Maritime FSM has had over the last 3 years. This is our 4th edition of the Maritime. And you see our team member Sagar is sitting here. And there was a time in the pandemic, 2021, when the whole world was behind closed doors. Only our seafarers were working. And we did our first FSM conference in 2021 in one full building where there were nobody except Sagar and myself. And we did the event. We had 40 countries taking part online. And we had even people from Alaska who joined in at that conference. And that motivated us. And we reached out, and when 2022, 2023, and then now we are doing it in 2024. So this is the 4th year. I think the team Naval Connection, and everybody requires a round of applause. The engagement that Naval Connection brings into Future Skills Maritime, we get calls nowadays. We don't need to even market this event. our main sponsor, main partner for today, and MIT, ADT University, and Manit. Thank you. Karat sir is here. Thank you very much. And we have, this is the platinum partners for today. We have golden partners. We have Maersk. Karan's flight is just delayed. He just messaged me. He'll be here in about 2 hours from now. So we'll have to push Karan's address a little bit later into the evening. But yeah, so we have C-SPAN. C-SPAN has always been, Captain Manoj Gandhi is here. Round of applause for C-SPAN, please. C-SPAN is always very supportive, and C-SPAN, in fact, they called us and they wanted to become the golden partner. Maersk as the golden partner. And then we have OSM Foam. We have Devesh here from OSM. Arun Mehta is slightly delayed. He'll be coming in later. But thank you, OSM Foam. We have our silver partners, IMEC, who's coming down from UK. There was a presentation with IMEC. We have the India representative of IMEC here, Captain Sankalp Shukla. And IMEC is coming down. A lot of people are here to meet IMEC today. So a big round of applause to Rob, who's as I speak on his way to the venue from the airport. Masa, Captain Halbe, I don't see him now, So you were the first one to land, yeah. So Captain Halbe, thank you, sir, for always supporting FSM and Masa. I don't see Girish Faddish also, but he was supposed to. Oh, you are also here. So Girish Faddish, also a big round of applause to Masa. Bernard Schulte, from the time that we started doing events, and Bernard Schulte, I do not even have to, I always take Bernard Schulte as a great supporter. So Sankalp, I can't thank you enough for what you do for us and for what you do for the industry. The recent developments has made me really feel, and I said, I said, ki Sankalp Tofa Kabul Karo. He does things which nobody else can do, wouldn't even dare to do. So, Williamson is here, Kunal is here, and Chinna will be here in a while. Kunal, thank you very much for supporting FSM, and a big round of applause for Williamson as well. Anglo-Eastern, Minit Gupta is here. Minit sir, thank you so much for supporting. You're always there whenever we've approached you. Amit has come down all the way from Chennai. Amit's principal, Anand Anand Tripathi is there as representative of Amit, and Gopal Srinivas is there. So thank you, Amit. Dynacom, I don't see Mohan Naik today, but I suppose he's in the flight and his flight got delayed, but he will be there in the evening. So Mohan Naik, thank you very much. Dynacom, Enmerol has been there since last year, and Ritu couldn't make it in person, but Ritu, if you're listening to this, we are going live, by the way, right now as I speak, we are live on YouTube. So you can send the YouTube channels to your friends and folks and relatives and colleagues. And then we have Marine Pals, who's Marine Pals is here, and Captain Pradeep Chawla's baby, and Girish Munjal is here. So Marine Pals, thank you for supporting the event. We have a dedicated session for Marine Pals today, tomorrow, I think, yeah. Then we thank FOSMA. We are the official media managers for FOSMA, and I can't thank Captain Rajesh Tandon is here, the doyen. And sir, thank you very much for your support always. And he's not just, they are not just partners. Whenever I face a challenge, and I'm in a doubt as to what to do, what not to do, I just give him a call, and he's always there to support and advise. So this advisory, he's like sitting, always he has an umbrella over my head. So thank you very much. MSCN, we're very, very pleased and honored to have Mr. Deepak Shetty here. Also, Soma Prakash Dalua and Captain Raymond Shroff from MSCN. We'll be hearing them speak in a little while. And there is no official introduction required for Mr. Deepak Shetty. He's etched his name in the world of, fighting anti-corruption and anti-bribery. So, sir, thank you very much for your support at MSCN, and thank you for being here. We have Buoyancy, Prasad Sawant and Buoyancy Consultant. They are local here, and many of you were working with Buoyancy. They are big time in vessel design. So Buoyancy is represented here as well. So Buoyancy, thank you for your support. We have the Goa Maritime Association, GMOA. I don't see Jervis, Captain Jervis here, but they are represented by, they have the association. Yeah, hi. Yeah, so Goa Maritime Association, we have some sailing masters and chief engineers here. So that will add value to, the discussion. We have a special and you can, grill everybody on stage and ask your questions which you always wanted to hear. So thank you. And then we have E-Dot Solution. I don't see Ruchin, but he will be here anytime. And Ruchin has been really, really supportive because one of the biggest challenges that we face in Goa is logistics and transport. I think all of you are facing the same issue. And he is rock solid. He provides some of the much needed logistics and transport for us, as the event managers. And I can't thank him enough. So E-Dot Solution, thank you very much, Ruchin, for it. IMS Goa is here. I think I saw some of the cadets, Mr. Deepak Shah, they are, yes, IMS Goa, big round of applause for the cadets there, IMS Goa. And then we have Best Marine, who is not particularly here, but you will see their presence in some of the elements that we do over the next 2 days. So Best Marine, thank you very much. Then Frank Vegas, GSOA. Frank Vegas is also here. He's like a strong pillar, and he helps in the local, support and logistics and lot of information between us and the CM's office. And we've just received a call from the CM's office that CM will be here after 4 o'clock. So we will do the lamp lighting as a mark of honor, honoring him. We will do the lamp lighting when he comes with the guests of honor. But till then, we have the other presentations in back. Ace Insurance is our dinner and networking partner. Naresh Kumar is very popular among all of us. Naresh, thank you very much for supporting the event. Ace Insurance. And I can't miss the Sweet Tooth Tarboti chocolates. We have a thing set up. So some people, they've been doing tasting rounds throughout the industry. Some people who've not tasted their toffees, I'm telling you, I want to take those home. And but not these ones, but these ones are for your tasting. Please feel free to go approach their table and taste these toffees, and then you can spread the word around. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want to thank all the partners. Without, like I said, whose help and support, this event would not have happened. In the next 2 days, we will have fun, we will have engagement, we will have lots of activities. Miss the beach activity tomorrow morning, and because that's the one that get the real viral views over the next few months that we do post event. And now I want to hand over to Dilis. And with one thing, I want to be very clear, and that is that we as Naval Connection, that we started very young. In 3 years' time, we are growing. We are very proud to be getting people calling us and companies calling us, giving us projects which we think are very challenging, but yet taking a lot out of us. But we have teams which can deliver results, extraordinary results. We are very, very, very proud to be heading and getting and already signed the contract with IMEC for the India advertising program, for the India cadet program that IMEC is doing. So that's a huge challenge for us. And we've already traveled many cities and shooting videos. And today, one of our videos you will see tomorrow in the IMEC presentation. So thank you very much. And over to you, Dilis, for hosting us into the next few hours of the event. Thank you. Oh, yes, because that is very separate, and that I wanted to mention. So silver partner and golden partner. So MEI, we are also the official media partners for Maritime Union of India. And Captain Tushar Pradhan is there. And sir, I can't see you. Yes, so big round of applause for MEI. And tomorrow we will have a separate session where we want to call Tushar Pradhan on stage and being close to MEI and knowing what they do exactly. So they do humongous things which some of the people are not aware of. Like, for example, doing magic in the Calcutta Seamen's Club. And last 1 year back, when he made a visit to Calcutta Seamen's Club, and it was in tatters. And being brought up in Calcutta, I know one point of time, senior people will feel that Calcutta Seamen's Club was a place to be proud of. But unfortunately, over the years, it got, there was no water in the swimming pool. There was no water in the taps. The AC was not running. They were falling apart. But he came and he was telling me, and they put in a lot of money and a lot of effort, more than the money, effort. And it's become hospitable, and a lot of people are, attending. So a big round of applause to MEI, and we'll see more of their initiative. And thank you, sir, for supporting FSM, and big round of applause. And tomorrow we will see you in a special session, right? Thank you, Dilis. Over to you to lead us. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together for Captain Shaukat Mukherjee. Thank you. It's some very impressive work that you do, Captain. Very impressive. As we continue, and you've already been informed, of course, and Captain Shaukat already mentioned that we are going to wait for our Honorable Chief Minister to join us in our formal inaugural ceremony that we will have later when he joins and he comes in. So we would like to continue with our agenda. To do so, ladies and gentlemen, I must welcome now a very, a visionary leader, I should say, an innovator and a staunch advocate for holistic education. He's our esteemed guest and needs no introduction in the academic world. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. It is Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad, the Executive President and Vice Chancellor of MIT Art, Design and Technology University, Pune, who stands as a luminary with over 32 years of experience in the education sector. With an illustrious career, Dr. Karad has transformed MIT ADT University in a hub of academic excellence, innovation, and holistic development. His dynamic leadership has garnered accolades, including a 5-star rating for exemplary performance in 2020. Innovation and philanthropy are hallmarks of Dr. Karad's commitment. He led to the establishment of the Center of Research, Innovation and Entrepreneurship for young aspirants. His philanthropic endeavors extend to social transformation and education. Recognized for his academic achievements, Dr. Karad received the Samudra Manthan Award and led MIT ADT University to win the Excellence in Employability Support Award from the University of Cambridge in 2023. Contributions to education, holding significant roles in educational associations and government bodies, Dr. Karad is dedicated to advancing education and empowering individuals. His influence extends globally, manifesting in roles like the esteemed President of Education Promotion Society, India. Inspiration. As a leader in the field, Dr. Karad actively participates in national and international events, contributing to the advancement of education. His impact is not only felt within the walls of MIT ADT University, but also resonates across the higher education landscape. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we put our hands together for Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad, I would like you to look and have a view of the campus that he has created, this entire university that he has built. Let us have the video for MIT ADT. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's give a resounding welcome to Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad. Let us invite him on stage, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to Future Skills Maritime 24. Chief guest of the today's program, Dr. Pramod Sawant, Chief Minister of the Goa State, Captain Wendy Vegas, who is the MLA from Goa, Shri Deepak Shetty ji, former Secretary of the Maritime Department, Captain Rob Gale, Captain Sankalp Shukla, Captain Rajesh Tandon ji, Captain Karan Kochar ji, Captain Mahendra Bhasin, Captain Dr. Shashank Jagirdar, and number of other dignitaries. I will say the whole maritime fraternity of the country, I can say, and the host, Captain Shaukat Mukherjee ji. I'm really delighted to be here on this occasion of the FSM 24, very wonderful theme of the Future Skills Maritime. And I am honored to really welcome everyone you for this very wonderful program. So this is, I think, the topic name itself resonates very well, and it is the need of the hour for every sector, not only maritime sector. I'm not hardcore maritime professional, so I will less talk about the maritime profession as such, but I will talk about the skill upgradation, what is happening in the world, how the landscape of the world is changing, the workforce is changing, the industry is changing, skill set requirement is changing. And accordingly, I think that is more than sufficient to change the maritime field. So that I wanted to say that. Friends, last week, I could see the video on the phone about, there was a speech of one parliamentarian from Singapore Parliament. He was talking to the parliament and he was telling the OpenAI, the another company, tech company from America, has launched one another platform, Sora platform, SORA, Sora platform. And he was saying he was not anticipating that platform to be launched by January 24, because last time when they launched their other platform, Midjourney 5, that was in April 23. So it was something. Sora is that, AI platform where you can just type in the keywords and that platform will generate the video, 30 pictures per second, AI generated video. And that video will be not less than the Hollywood videos and the videos which will be made by any other, the film studios. So that is the capacity of that platform. And for your surprise, those videos will be for non-existent program. That platform can make the videos of which the program has never happened. So that is the AI. We are living in the age of the AI. AI we can do the conversation with the AI. AI can write the, essays. That is, ChatGPT. AI can write the exams, and AI also can write the placement exams. So that is the ChatGPT 4. Midjourney 5 is the another platform which can generate the photos, hypothetical photos of the programs which never happened. And now the last platform is the Sora, which will generate the artificial, intelligence generated videos. 30 photos per second can generate that video. So that is the rate of a change of the technology at which the world is changing. Disruption in technology is happening. And because of that, the Singapore government has given another subsidy for the people who are above 40 years to do another diploma in higher education, because they fail, and we should feel that, because we cannot prevent the AI to come to our country. We cannot prevent. If we do so, I think other economies will allow them to use the AI, and we will be behind. AI, no country, no boundary can prevent the technology. So that is happening. So better way is to equip our own people and give them that knowledge. That is the need of the hour. So that is the first, country which has started giving the funding or the budget for the higher education for people, human resource, vocational education. And that is, I think, great sign of the gig economy. About America is already 1/3 people are already online. gig economy, the jobs are going to be part-time jobs, no full-time jobs, no bonuses, no nothing. Your jobs, part-time jobs is a very common thing. Like Uber and Airbnb, you know that hotel company, Airbnb. The Uber driver can work for Ola in the morning and in the evening he can work for the Uber company. So contract is only for 6 hours or 8 hours or for that period. So that change is happening. And that change has already occurred, not only with these few companies, that is also, picked up by the big companies, Microsoft, Google, all the big companies are picking up that change. So the gig economy is really emerging very fast, is really, aggressively coming out, and we cannot prevent. So that is the general scenario of the technology disruption. And because of that, the emergence of a gig economy is a great challenge to every country, every sector, and how to survive in the gig economy is a real question. I was just, imagining in gig economy, online platform. Recently, I did my house was to be designed. I employed the architect from Bali, and we had online meetings, and he gave me the wonderful design at a cheaper cost. Architects from India are charging around 50 lakh rupees for that house. He charged me only 25 lakh rupees. So there are advantages of the gig economy, and those companies and those countries who will not go for the gig, that gig economy, they will lose that advantages of the economic, very cost-effective solutions. So that is happening with that, gig economy, with Sora and all these platforms. So we are moving, our world is moving towards, new age. We do not know what is happening. And on that background, I think future skills is a very high requirement of all the sectors. It is not the requirement of only maritime sector. We are running, education institution. So everywhere, computer engineers, mechanical engineers, there are no takers now, mechanical engineers, because all admissions are going for only computer engineering, AI, data science, cyber security, because that is the requirement of the today's world. So with that background, I think every sector has to be really, they have to do their, they have to change their mindset. So that is the requirement. So just I was going, what will be the future skills required? Because universities also do not know what is to be taught, which technology will be there, and what will come out after 10 years. Under that, context, I think we have to teach only skills like the critical thinking and the problem solving. That is the one biggest skill, the creativity and innovation. That is another skill, the communication in a different languages. That is the fourth skill, the collaboration. That is the fifth skill. I was just thinking about the critical thinking and problem solving that we know all. So our students should be able to solve the problem, nearby problem of the society, of a country. So that is the greatest requirement. About the creativity and innovation. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has conducted one program, National Creators Award 24. That is the first time program. And he gave the awards to the young people, very, digital creator, digital, content creator of the country. More than 50 awards he gave. The program happened in Delhi. So there is a great demand for the digital content creator. They are really making very good impact on the society. Different fields, podcasters, their followers are in millions. So that is the new skill set, and that is making change. That is making the government change. They are highlighting the problems of the society, of the government, inefficiency of the government. That is really impacting. So the digital creator or the content creator, they will have the great scope in the tomorrow's world. My admissions of the university, now we do not need the print media ads. I need only the digital content. I need only the articles. I need the videos. I need the other things, creatives, by which I can fetch the fetch the students to my university. So this has happened. So the content creators has a great demand, and the creativity, any creativity as such has a great demand because of the technology development. I think if when we go to the home, every day we want a new cinema on the television, we go to the OTT platform, we click for what is the new one, maybe South Indian, maybe North Indian, Bhojpuri, or anything. I'm just quoting one example. Why? Because of that, we want the new creativity, new creation, cinema, or maybe anything, travel blog, or maybe food blog, anything as per the interest. Everyone. So this is the new thing which is possible only because of the technology. And because of that, I think the creative people, because of that, the liberal education is coming up very high. The liberal education like art, the creative art, performing art, those people are in great demand because more and more films are coming, more and more fashion design is coming, more and more all creative areas are coming. So liberal education is getting good demand, and that is the reason I think all the design colleges are there, user experience design. So that skill is really coming up. So that is about the creativity. I think about innovation, I should not say. In our country, research and innovation. Few days back in our universities, if we ask what is the difference between research and innovation, number of people, they were not able to talk about what is the difference in the research and innovation. Now in research, we put the money and we get the new knowledge. In innovation, we use that knowledge and we create the money. Application of that research for creation of wealth is the innovation. I think we have to create that innovation department more. MIT is a university where innovation department is set up. Unfortunately, there are no schools and colleges where that how to write the content creators are not there. All the people who are really influencing the country and the world, they have never gone to any university or college to learn that course of the content creation about creativity. So that is the bad part. Same thing is about innovation. Innovation, I think no college and university is teaching how to innovate. But this is today's mantra of the economy is the innovation. Every year, the new companies are coming out with the new version. So innovation for very dynamic economy, innovation is highly essential. Company like Apple, company like Facebook, every year they come out with some or the other version. Microsoft, they come out with some version of their software. So that is the way the world has become. And for that thing, we have to really make our curriculum very dynamic curriculum, very innovative oriented curriculum. So let us hope it will happen. But unfortunately, the communication about, as we are globalizing very fast, we have to go to China. Some Indian has to go to China and he has to lead the team there. Or some Indian company's office, he has to run there. And the other people will be Chinese people working under him. So how he is going to lead that group is a real challenge, because unless we learn their culture, unless we learn their language, we are not able to lead them. So that is the communication in the different languages is essential. The languages are there, the teaching community is there, but there are no takers. We have to make it sure that the students will learn the foreign languages and they will really, that will give them the advantage. The collaboration. I will not talk much about the other thing. I think the collaboration, Dr. Mashelkar ji has said, the collaboration, delta G. What is the effect of the collaboration? Delta G is the effect of a collaboration. Is equal to, I will say the mathematical equation, is equal to n into n minus 1 divided by 2. N is the number of partners. If number of partners is only 1, 1 into n minus 1 is equal to 0 divided by 2 is a 0. But if you assume n as a 50, 50 minus 49 divided by 2, the collaboration effect is 2500 times, 2490 is a collaboration time. So that is the world. The Reliance company is collaborating with Facebook to create the biggest company of the world. more than, $1 trillion company. In coming years, they will create the company of that size. I think these are the requirements of the coming future skills, and we have to work in that direction. Information literacy is there, media literacy has to be there, ICT literacy has to be there. We have to be very flexible, we have to be adaptable, we have to have the self-direction, initiatives for self-direction, social and cross-cultural interaction is highly essential, leadership and responsibility is also essential. I think none of the skills, there are no colleges, no syllabus, so that is the agony of the situation. How to develop the syllabus, how to deliver the training and get the generation ready. That is the biggest challenge. So my friends, I will conclude my small speech. I have not talked about maritime field as such, but I know every field is going to be affected by all these parameters. So maritime field will be affected by the technology development. So we have to adopt, we have to change the mindset. In lieu of the gig economy, we have to think on that lines and we have to go ahead. So thank you once again, the Captain Shaukat Mukherjee. Thank you very much for calling us here and giving us chance to interact with all the maritime business leaders of the country. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Mangesh Kharch, for sharing that valuable insight with us. It's truly impressive, sir, the work that you do around the entire university. So I would like you to once again come up on stage, and I would like to call Captain Shaukat Mukherjee along with Captain Manoj Gandhi to felicitate Professor Dr. Mangesh Kharch. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a huge round of applause. Captain Manoj Gandhi, do join us on stage. Yes. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Captain Shaukat, and thank you, Captain Manoj Gandhi, for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to call upon another luminary who has etched the maritime landscape with his humongous efforts to eradicate corruption, who is a former senior career civil servant belonging to the Indian Revenue Service, the IRS, having served in the government of India for over 36 years. He is the former Director General of Shipping, Government of India, which he has served for 2 years between 2015 and 2016. He stands empaneled since 2016 on the global roster of experts of the United Nations in the areas of maritime transportation and maritime crime. He is the recipient of 24 international, regional, and national awards and commendations in his service career, including the Presidential Award of Appreciation Certificate for a specially distinguished record of service bestowed on the Republic Day 2002. Commendation Certificate for meritorious and sincere services rendered conferred on the International Customs Day 2002. Commendation issued by the Foreign Minister, Government of India in 2015. Commendation ensured by the Director of Maritime Security, Interpol, that is the International Criminal Police Organization, in 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, quite recently, he has also taken up the role of Senior Advisor India at the Maritime Anti-Corruption Network, also known as MACN. It gives me huge pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Deepak Shetty, IRS, retired. I now invite you to come to the stage and say a few words regarding the working of the Maritime Anti-Corruption Network. Along with Mr. Shetty, I would also like to invite his colleagues, that is Mr. Soumya Prakash Dalua and Captain Raymond Shroff, to the stage, please. Let us all give them a very warm welcome.
So just do this. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute delight, privilege, and honor to be here amidst all of you in very salubrious settings, which I think is truly inspirational. At the outset, my deep gratitude to Captain Shaukat Mukherjee for this very warm invitation that he's extended to share some nuances and perspectives about presumably a paradigm which most of you, if not all of you, are already familiar, which goes by the acronym the MACN, which is the Maritime Anti-Corruption Network. I don't want to sound very contrarian here. We are now, over the next 2 days, under the aegis, the umbrella of the Future Skills Maritime, going to be deliberating in terms of creation of a force for good, which will equip and the industry leaders and the next generation to be future ready. In that context, I would like to bring in the nuance of ESG, environment, social, and governance. Now, all of us are aware of the E and S part of it. But the G, I believe, is the critical pivot or the underpinning. Unless you get your act together in terms of good governance, and which cuts across the public sector and the private sector, I'm afraid most of the outcomes that you sort of aspire for will not really see the light of the day. To that end, I think it is essential for us to highlight the kind of role that we do in this organization. The MACN often is conjured as NGO. We are far from it. Let me disabuse your mind. We are a pure play maritime industry association set up by the industry, for the industry, and, to use the cliche. This is today comprising 201 of the largest shipping and logistics supply chain companies worldwide. It represents about 56% of the global shipping tonnage. I will not dwell too much, but I will take you into the fact that as to what does MACN really stand for. The MACN propagates business integrity, due diligence, transparency, and accountability in this entire value chain. The way we pitch ourselves is that we state that we are a bridge of trust, neutral, objective, and non-partisan between the two ends of the spectrum. The public agencies represented by customs, immigration, port health, port administrations, maritime administrations, flag state, port state control, and etc. on the one hand, and then the private sector represented by most of you who are there in this room. And I keep repeating this ad nauseum that notwithstanding the progression of liberalization, privatization, globalization, and more critically, digitization, the grim reality still remains that there is a chasm of distrust between the public sector agencies on the one hand and the private sector. And it is this space in terms of the interaction between the public agencies at the port side, where there is a void or a vacuum, and the way you are adversely impacted in terms of a demand for gratification, whether in cash and kind, is where we come in from MACN's perspective. So if you just click that. This, you can move fast forward. There are 5 broad pieces of work of MACN. One is collective action where we engage far and wide with as many representations of constituents of the industry. And to that end, in about 20 months that the MACN has got functionalized in India, we've been able to drive about 81 interactions far and wide with the industry. You could see, there are three broad buckets in which we have sort of disaggregated this. We've reached out to the associations, the various companies, flag registries, and the IO MOU. Slide. Here is a snippet and overview of the kind of engagements to seek buy-in from very, very senior level functionaries of the government of India. Because at the end of the day, if they don't get on board on the same page, I'm afraid it's very, very difficult for us to drive home the message of anti-corruption. This is despite the fact that the Honorable Prime Minister has been propagating zero tolerance to corruption. And there has been this trickle-down effect. But at the bottom end of the heap, the fact still remains that there is a great deal of oppression which is inflicted upon. What the MACN seeks to do is to try and promote a seamless port user experience for you when your vessel comes calling at different ports. To that end, we also, as a subsidiary element, we promote ease of doing business and drive down logistic costs. Slide, Salman. Now, I think I'll just dwell on this and probably then leave it open for question answers. This is a snapshot of what we've been able to accomplish in these 20 months of our journey thus far. As you can see, we have a very, very active help desk, which is a significant piece of work of the MACN in the country, where mariners, master mariners, chief engineers, the crew of the vessels, agents and operating teams of the companies can reach out to us. And in the event of any act of corruption which they confront, all they need to do is to report those incidents to us and leave the rest for us to resolve. And to that end, what we also urge them is to file what are called as PANs, pre-arrival notifications, preferably 72 hours in advance, so that we are seized of the situation, we are aware, and then we then are able to then take it forward. I'm delighted to say that in this short span of 20 months, although MACN has a geographical footprint in 8 countries worldwide, as yet, we have already surged to number 2 position, next only to Nigeria, in terms of the sheer PAN filings. This is, I think, a testimony of the fact that there is a growing resonance of the kind of work that we bring to bear on the table amongst the maritime community. We have had 31 incidents of corruption that have been reported to us. There might be a counter argument you might come up with that this is just a small drop in the bucket. Fair enough. I concede that point readily. But as I keep saying, we are only as good as what is brought to our notice. And trust us, these 31 incidents have all been resolved in not more than about 4 to 5 hours' time. Many of you would have heard me saying this, even the cost of repetition. If I may just share with you, we've had success stories. I can narrate, I distinctly recall on the top of my head, 4 cases where in about less than 4 hours after my escalation to the highest authorities of the given public department, we were able to have sums of money extorted as bribes, ranging from anywhere between $1,800 to $2,500 in every single case, returned back to the master in totality in about 4 hours' time. And then apologies tendered. In a couple of instances, we've also had departmental disciplinary action initiated against the errant officers. In a couple of other cases, we've had officers transferred out at our intervention from the ports on administrative grounds. So the impact is growing. We believe that we have just begun. We need to attain critical mass. But I dare say that through sheer word of mouth, today we have reached a stage, and I say this with utmost humility, that by the sheer impact that we have created, let's say in Agency X, through by word of mouth that has got a spread effect. It's got a contagion effect in a positive sense. And largely in those ports, there is a perception that there is somebody at the back end who will intervene and set things right. Another piece of information, we've got about 105 emails, and it's only growing, where masters, companies, and agents come back to us and have told us that progressively their port user experience in the past few months, courtesy the interventions of the MACN, have started getting increasingly better. We believe that this is a testimony of the work that we do, and we are enthused, but this is not to claim, even by a long shot, that everything is hunky-dory. There's a great deal of work which lies ahead of us. We are mindful of the onerous responsibility, but I think we have got off to a fairly reasonably good start, courtesy the humongous support which we have managed to get in the last 20 months from all of you as key stakeholders. The next piece, which I think I must make it a point to share with you, in every one of these 30 cases, barring one, we have ensured that the sailing windows of the vessels have not been missed even by 1 single hour. That is another mandate we have assumed as our responsibility. So this is no mean feat. Even if you were to extrapolate and do just a top of the head math, let's assume that there are about $10,000 to $15,000 of cost for every hour of delay for any given vessel. Of course, this varies depending upon the typology of the vessel. The fact that we've been able to ensure that the sailing windows have been met, we assume reasonably that we've been able to save anywhere around 300,000 to about 435,000 US dollars of sheer savings potentially by ensuring this. Then we have also made sure that we add value, because as I keep saying, and many of you would have heard me say this time and again, we do this case-to-case intervention by raising incidents to various public authorities and seeking a resolution, a negation or a pushback. But at the end of the day, it's my conviction, having served in the government for 37 years, that if you really need to do a technology, and for that, what we have done is we've got an active dashboard, a distinct USP only of MACN in India, not replicated anywhere in the world, where we use AI tools. We do an empirical analysis of the causative factors of corruption, preferably the low-hanging fruits, which are far more doable. And then I write policy papers to the government, recommending, identifying as to what has been the bugbear in several cases that we have intervened. And then basis that, I write detailed policy papers, submitted to the government for systems change or business process reengineering. I'm glad to mention that 2 of them, one in relation to digitizing the paradigm of port clearance, that has now been accepted in principle. And I believe that it's getting merged into the National Logistics Portal. The other contribution that we've been able to make is where information seeking today is an entirely physical process from companies and other stakeholders. So what I've written out in that document is, why should the government of India not invoke the the recommendations of the FAL committee of the IMO, which has standardized and codified documentation and templates for information seeking, digitize those processes. And when we have ratified the FAL Convention 1965 with its various iterations over a period of time into the Merchant Shipping Act, the Immigration Act, the Customs Act, and what have you, why is it that we can't invoke these provisions and resort to smart governance? And I'm again glad to share with you that this has also been accepted. And from what I hear from the government is that in the rollout of the NLP, all of this is going to happen come next 6 months to about a year from now. So this is an ongoing endeavor of a value add where we will write up policy papers. A third one, which I'm currently working at, is to try and do away with the mechanical boarding of a customs officer for every vessel. World over, I'm told, in advanced economies, you deal on a much more with smart technology tools. And then only in the event of a sovereign breach of an intelligence or a specific informational input, the boarding officer does board, but otherwise it's all done at the back end. So that's the kind of framework or template that we want to move to. So that's the other policy piece that I'm hoping to write. We've had 6 member companies from India, which we've been able to onboard because they see value proposition in what we bring to the table. Also wanted to mention, and some of the honorable members of the advisory committee of the MAC in India are present here in this room. This is a unique proposition where we try and seek feedback and inputs from the industry. We don't believe that, we are the repository of all that there is to know about anti-corruption. We need to, at a very, very humble level, reach out to the industry, seek a pipeline of feedback. To that end, what we have done is we've institutionalized a mechanism in the form of this advisory committee, which meets every quarter. It consists of 7 major stakeholders: IPA, INSA, FOSMA, MASA, MANSA, CSLA, and Global Met. So we've had this valuable contributions, which we then merge into what we do. They advise us as to what we can do possibly better or what we can do incrementally. And now we've had the last edition where we reached out to the Eastern region stakeholders by a visit of this committee to Calcutta, and we bid fair to go to the Southern region come May in Chennai. The other thing just wanted to mention just before I wind up is there's a major piece of work of MACN in trying to bring about a cultural change, modification in the mindset. And for that purpose, MACN has come out with 5 e-learning modules, one for masters and chief engineers, the second one for port agents, the third one for operating teams of the companies, because they play a critical role of support. The fourth one is for the P&I correspondents. And the fifth one, which we have just rolled out, absolutely gratis, free of charge, which many of you in the room who represent maritime training institutions of the pre-sea side may perhaps have already received communications, is an e-module dedicated to the next generation of seafarers, which is to the young cadets and trainees. Because we believe that this is not to indulge in scaremongering, but to get them to understand that how do you develop coping skills when you are confronted with a situation of corruption in the maritime domain. So maritime education, so to that end, I think it ties up very neatly when you say that, when you talk about the theme of future skills maritime, whether we're getting industry leaders future ready. And we believe this is a very, very simple and humble contribution that MACN does. So you have broadly, as I said, collective action, help desk, the education piece. There are 2 aspects with which I'll just wind up. One is, we are the largest repository. By the way, we are the only organization globally which does work in this space. We are also the largest repository of global data of 60,000 plus incidents of maritime corruption, which stakeholders have filed with MACN for the last 13 odd years. So we decided to put it to good use, and we leveraged risk management tools and developed what is called as a Global Port Integrity Program. GPIP is the acronym, where inter-se comparison of the extent of corruption in various ports globally is all mapped out under this GPIP tool. Admittedly, this is only available to members. And what it does is no fewer than 1,151 ports worldwide in about 151 maritime nations. They're all mapped out in this GPIP framework. The underlying rationale is that when masters, companies prepare themselves to call at ports, amongst the various preparatory works that they need to do, they also pretty much get a sense and a hang of what is in store from the point of view of corruption when they come calling there. The last piece which I want to share with you is we've also developed what is called as 3C Diligence. It's a platform, a risk management tool, where you can get a 360 degrees vetting of the background or credentials of any entity which you wish to engage and transact with. You come up to us and say that, look, we want to hire an agent, for instance. What is the background? What is the credential vetting? We do that at just no more than $50 and a simple application. And in 48 hours, we're able to churn out because we have access to a global database, the across the spectrum, regulatory, law enforcement, etc. And we're able to come back and tell you, this is how this entity stacks up worldwide. Then it's your call to decide whether you want to go ahead and engage and transact with. So there are some of these service orientations that MACN does offer. What I just want to finally wind up and say is that this is a huge collaborative effort. In this 20 months, I've also encountered n number of cases where entities have reached out to us, but then they have backtracked, ostensibly with the supposed fear of a backlash. But I can tell you that we have been able to even contain and mitigate those backlash. If you just bear with me, Captain Shaukat, just for a minute.